From the lime green confines of the Herrenschule Baseball Stadium in Zürich, Switzerland, it's Friday, July 14th, 2023. And that means the last day of pool play for the WSBC U-18 Championship Qualifiers. It's a balmy 28 degrees centigrade on the diamond. And for our Imperial viewers, that's about 118 degrees Fahrenheit. And since the grounds crew has not scheduled sunset until 9:19 p.m., outfielders today can expect to battle the nuclear fire well into the late innings. Vin Scully is on vacation this week. This is Shen Bernhardt, along with play-by-play phenom David DeFusco.
Good evening.
Mark Fisher, Mark Cole, Mark Hamill, Roman Consul Mark Antony, and the rest of the evening crew here to bring you 7 innings of championship baseball as the Hungarian national team takes on the home favorites here in Switzerland. Switzerland's technical elimination in last night's contest isn't likely to dull their competitive instincts, and Hungary can be expected to empty the tank in their last appearance in this tournament. Don't touch that dial. It's Friday night championship qualifier baseball. Lineups, anthems, what promises to be a scintillating plate meeting, and 7 innings of U-18 competition coming up next.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Regensburg for the Under-18 European Championship qualifiers and today's game between Hungary and Switzerland. The time has come to announce both starting lineups. We will be visiting Hungarian. When you hear your name, please line up on the foul lines. We will begin with the coaches. Manager Roberto Murua, Coach Jeffrey Ampun, and Coach Saba Fekete. Batting first, the third baseman Mark Hellinger. Batting second, the shortstop Marco Murua. Batting third, the center fielder Martin Murua. Batting fourth, the first baseman David Förders. Batting fifth, the left fielder Erik Hellinger. Batting sixth, the pitcher Andras Dunschner. Batting seventh, the second baseman Zalan Atwood. Batting eighth, the right fielder Zoltan Valkai. Batting ninth, the catcher Mark Domsic. And now the rest of the team. And now for the Swiss lineup, beginning with the coaches. First we have head coach Roger Savoldelli, and the pitching coach Yannick Suter. Batting first, the designated hitter Nils Rüdele. Batting second, the center fielder Jakob Stefan. Batting third, the shortstop Sea Eichenherr. Batting fourth, the second baseman Thiago Lutz. Batting fifth, the third baseman Vincent Fagot. Batting sixth, the left fielder Finn Himmelsbach. Batting seventh, the catcher Noah Bowen. Batting eighth, the first baseman Tim Rüdele. Pitching is Noah Sutton. And now the rest of the team, please. Today's umpires are Robert Hughes behind the plate and Alexander Silva here on the base.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flags on the backstop. Rise and remove your headwear for the playing of the Hungarian national anthem. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the Swiss national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, you attended, please note that objects including baseballs, baseball bats, helmets, gloves, players, and coaches may leave the field of play at high velocity. Swiss Baseball urges you to stay aware and stay safe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've just heard the national anthems of both nations and are set to start in just a minute or two. As you see the scintillating plate meeting going on as we speak.
It's true, David. Sometimes that plate meeting can be incredibly scintillating.
Yes, we'll announce the lineups in just a moment as we get them. In the meantime, we'll just take a short break and return with first pitch in a moment. Welcome back here. We're set to get going in just a moment. Noah Suter will lead things off on the mound for Switzerland. He's pitched a couple of times before in the tournament. Now he's on the bump to start this final game of pool play, which has no effect on what teams will play in tomorrow's final, but it does affect the final standings, and it does affect the bragging rights as well. Ball will miss high. Ball and no strikes. 0-0 misses as well. That'll make it 2-0 on the Hungarian leadoff hitter. Two-0 high. That will make it 3-0. Tough start from Suter. Still looking to find his first strike. Here's the 3-0. And there he does. He punches one in there. Let's make it 3-1. Three balls and a strike. And he'll punch another one in there. And he's working his way back in the count from 3-0 to 3-2. There's the full count delivery, and that will miss way high and inside. I'll take a walk.
Yeah, David, we had quite some trouble, of course, in last night's game, too, with pitching. And I hope Suter can kind of find some focus here, get locked in early, because nobody wants, you just don't want to see that kind of struggling pitchers. It's just very tough on a day like this. So let's hope we see a little bit better performance out of the Swiss team on the mound tonight as compared to yesterday.
Yeah, we've been treated to some very nice pitching the first two games today. The Swedish games where they faced first Ukraine and then Lithuania. They won the first one 3-2, lost the second one 6-7. There was some very nice pitching, particularly in the first game. And the second one as well, where most of the runs came in extra innings. Sweden put up 3 in the 8th, and Lithuania 4. Some very nice pitching. We hope to see some of that here too. And a strike to Murua. He looks over at his third base coach, most likely not too satisfied with that call.
Now here's the first one.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Murua. The younger Murua brother, his brother Martin on deck. Here's a grounder to short, and he can't pick it up cleanly. And Murua will reach. That'll be an error on the shortstop Eigen here.
Good curveball actually from Suter, and did what he wanted with it. Got the ball driven into the ground. High chopper, and it really looked like the shortstop should have handled that. He put the leather on it, just popped in and out of the glove. I think, again, just a little anxious. If he had just stuck with it a little bit to make the flip. And it's that really obvious thing you have to say in occasions like this. First you catch the ball, then you throw the ball.
That's very right. Tough start here for Switzerland. 2 first men on for Hungary, and Suter will step off. The 0-1 runner goes, and he'll get a new shot. Flip to second in time, throw to first, in there. Wow, out by a hair at first, but a nice job by Eigen here cleaning up his mess and turning 2.
That was fantastic, and it was a great bit of redemption for the shortstop. He did on that play exactly what he should have done the first time, took his time, received the ball, did a nice shovel into second base, and got just enough time for the second baseman to make the turn. Absolutely outstanding.
That will bring up David Ferdush.
Looks like a little caution from the umpire there to slow down. You don't see that all that often.
The 0-1 from Suter is grounded out to right field. Here comes a run in to score. Whoa, they'll try to get him at first. A nice try, but...
That might have been the first 9-3 putout I would have seen in a tournament at this level. And frankly, he actually made some close. If he had got a little bit more on that throw, he might have actually thrown the batter runner out. That would have been something.
Yeah, that's very rare to see someone get thrown out at first from the outfield.
Again, the home plate umpire is telling Suter to just take a break and slow down. And you don't see that very often. And you want pitchers to be working quickly to move the game along. The infielders like it, officials like it, but the home plate umpires having none of it today.
Time called. Yeah, as you said, trying to make pitchers move quicker. In the MLB, of course, with the pitch clock, and also it's being encouraged by umpires and coaches. And a ball low. Ferdush will hold it first.
It's another thing to be looking for today, David. We saw yesterday quite a number of balk calls. Well, I know Suter pretty well. He's experienced enough that he knows how to sell the pause, but we'll be looking for it from the rest of the pitching staff too, because the officials in this tournament have been very sensitive to balks.
Ball and a strike. There's the 1-1 from Suter to Eric Hellinger. It'll miss. Nice breaking ball, but he couldn't get him to offer at it. And now time called.
I think that's the 5th time called in this inning already.
Yeah, this time it's Eigenhaar, the shortstop, just tying his shoelaces or adjusting his pants. Two 1. Hit out to right field. Fighting the sun is Versten, but he'll make the catch and retire the side. But Hungary have struck first, 1-0, as we take a break.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. Swiss Baseball reminds you to participate in Adopt an Umpire. Umpires eat love too. Switzerland's Adopt an Umpire program. Interested parties should see Art Cole.
Welcome back. We're set to kick off the bottom of the first. The DH Nils Bröderli leads things off for the Swiss. He'll face András Lunchner. The Hungarian pitcher has been out there before in the tournament. He's a 0.37 ERA. So he's got the job done so far. Looking to continue that success in this outing. Brutally batting .364. So he's had himself a decent tournament. And he'll take one in for a strike.
David, you can see that the left-handed Hungarian starter, he's working all the way over on the third base side of the rubber. And that last pitch right there looked pretty much to me like a good two-seam with arm side run. And that's what you'll see from guys who have good two-seams like that. They'll work on the glove side of the rubber. So they're taking advantage of that ball curling to the outside away from the opposite-handed batter. And that's exactly what I think you're seeing there.
Yeah, nice catch out there in center field by Murua. Down goes Brudali. And a ball into Jakob Stefan. Swiss center fielder. Batting .250 in the tournament. 1-0 from Lunchner in there.
Yeah, there it is again. That's that fastball in the lower outside corner. I think that thing is probably starting somewhere on the plate and just trailing off to the edge. We saw a lot of that against the Swiss team last night, too, that low and away corner, and the umpires were calling it pretty generously.
Grounder to third. He takes his time and makes the play at first. That's Mark Hellinger, the third baseman, who cuts down Stefan for out number 2. That brings up Eigenherr, the shortstop. I'll take the first pitch for a ball. Eigenherr has had himself a very good tournament at the plate, batting .500. One-0 from Lunchner is fouled back. Makes it a ball and a strike. The 1-1. Nice breaking ball, but it missed outside. Make it 2-1. Two balls and a strike, no one on with 2 down is the delivery from Lunchner, and it will miss. It had some nice break to it, but just broke too early.
That was a pretty good-looking pitch. I'm sort of surprised he didn't get a call on that. It's obviously hard to see from up here, but it really looked good. And where the catcher received it made me think that had a pretty good chance of touching the zone.
So Eigenherr will take ball 4. And that puts a man on and keeps the inning alive for Thiago Lutz. And now time called as Eigenherr ties his shoelaces at first. He'll take his lead. There's the pitch from Lunchner to Lutz, and it will miss high and in. Makes the ball and no strikes. One-0 popped up and out of play. It evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Lutz batting .444. So he's one of the better hitters on this team. There, he'll hit one out to left field. Will it stay fair? It will. And there is the left fielder, Hellinger, to make the catch. And that retires the side. So a relatively quick inning for Hungary. They're still up 1-0 after 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, Swiss Baseball takes this moment to remind you of the Swiss Baseball Guarantee. 22 innings of baseball tonight. You pay us $1 million.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the start of inning number 2. The pitcher, András Lundstner, leads things off for Hungary. I'll take the first pitch high. Make it a ball, no strikes. Lundstner has been very hot at the plate, 800 batting average. Over 2,000 OPS. He's been a guy to rely on for Hungary. He's looking to get on here again, of course. 2-0 from Suter, spiked in the dirt. And that makes it 3-0. Suter with a bit of a tough inning in the first, gave up a run. But no more. Here's the 3-0, and it misses for ball 4. Looked like a breaking ball, but it couldn't quite catch the zone. So Lundstner will reach on 4 straight balls.
Lots of pitches missing up for Suter. It was the same thing in the last inning. So there's some kind of adjustment he's going to have to make. It's been extremely consistent. Up, 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 and up.
And a first pitch ball to Zalan Atwood. He'll take the 1-0 outside. So Suter having some trouble finding the zone. 6 straight balls to start this inning. There's the 2-0 delivery from Suter, and there he punches one in for strike 1. Two balls and a strike. Man on first with no one down. There he goes. Shows bunt, lays it down. And coming in on it is third baseman. Throw to first, not in time. And no one covering third. So that will move up Lundstner. And Atwood will reach as well.
That was a tough defensive miscue there. You know, Suter actually went over, the ball went just under his glove, so the third baseman diverted to it, and his first instinct, the pitcher's first instinct after that should be to go cover that bag, and he just lost himself. A little bit of frustration, he let it boil over.
And a wild pitch. Here is Lundstner around third. He'll slide in safely. Atwood to second. And Hungary put another one on the board and make it 2-0. Yeah, worst possible start to this inning for Switzerland. Having real trouble both defensively and on the mound.
You know, we saw this last game too, last night. You got to wonder whether that runner at second might even start thinking about stealing. Suter is not looking back at him even at all, at least in that last pitch, and he was still moving when Suter delivered the pitch.
2-0 in for a strike on Volkai Zoltan.
I mean, it's unconventional to be stealing third with no outs or with 2 outs, but we saw it last night repeatedly when the Swiss defense was rattled. And let's see if Hungary picks up on the same tactic.
And yeah.
Again, we've got the home plate umpire coming out to Suter to tell him to slow down. I think the umpire is, I don't think it's the batter either. I don't think it's a quick pitch. I think the umpire is simply not ready when Suter is getting ready to deliver the ball. So he stopped him in the middle of his motion there. Somebody's going to have to find a way to quiet down Suter just a little bit so that he can get back into the game and get focused, because things are not working for him the pace he's working now with the umpire or with his command.
2-1 on Zoltan, and he'll take a hack and miss. That makes it 2-2. With Atwood at second and no one down. Here's the delivery, swung at and missed.
That was interesting in a way, because Suter's having trouble with his command high, and those 2 swings were at balls up in the shoulders and the eyes. Definitely not strikes. So, well, Suter might just get away with a few if the Hungarian batters don't take a lesson from that and stop swinging at anything, even if it's at the letters.
So Suter picks up his first strikeout of the game, and that brings up the catcher Mark Domcic. And Suter will step off. Says something to the second baseman Lutz, possibly about keeping tabs on Atwood at second. There he goes. Throw from Buchen offline, and he'll slide in safely.
Yep, and there it was again. He had such a great jump on that because Suter did not manage to stop him from his momentum moving toward third base before he delivered the pitch. When you're on the mound, you've got to turn around and you have to stare into that runner's soul and make him stop moving before you deliver your next pitch. Otherwise, that's what happens.
Yeah, not much going Switzerland's way, and out comes Roger Savoldelli, the Swiss manager. And just like yesterday, he is out early in the game.
David, let's take this opportunity just a moment to have a shout out to Vassar Baseball. Matt Ryder, head coach Matt Ryder, and the Brewers of Vassar Baseball watching the program tonight. Vassar Baseball, we miss you over here in Switzerland.
And now back to the dugout goes Savoldelli. I'll keep Suter in the game. Two balls and no strikes on Domcic. Still hitless in the tournament. Two-0. Inside. That will make it 3-0 with a man on third and one down. Three balls, no strikes. Here's the delivery from Suter. It will miss And Domsic reaches for the first time in the tournament. He'll take a 4-pitch walk.
That is tough to swallow. Missing again high and walking an opposing player that probably didn't have much of a chance of reaching any other way. That's a pity.
That brings up the top of the Hungarian order. Mark Hellinger. He requests time, but it's not granted. And into second is Domsic. Throw over the head of Suter, but there to cover is Agenhill. Two men on, one down. Here's the 1-0. A nice breaking ball.
Well, if he can throw breaking balls like that, he should just come right off the fastball and start throwing more of them. In fact, he should be throwing 70% at breaking balls until he can find his fastball command again, because that was a fantastic pitch.
1-1, and there's another one. Very nicely placed.
I'd throw him another.
Definitely Hellinger doesn't look like he knows what to do about it. Looks frozen when they're coming in. And they'll take a fastball high. Two and two. See if he goes to that breaking ball. He does. And down goes Hellinger. Looked like it was possibly a changeup or a two-seam, not that curveball.
I think that was a changeup, David.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just goes to show you, when you're having that fastball command problem, you have to make an adjustment. You have to figure out how to succeed on there. The next visit from the manager is pulling him out of the game. It looks like he might have found a way. Looks like pitching backwards might help him get what he needs.
So that brings up the shortstop, Marco Murua. He's 0 for 1. I'll take a hack and come up empty. Makes it a ball and a strike. One from Suter. Oh, just misses outside.
That is going to be a frustrating call with the trouble that Suter is having with his fastball. When he's able to spot that, and that looks really close, it's going to be very hard to swallow those calls, and just makes things harder for him.
2 balls and a strike. And he's out in front of it and pops it up. Ranging over there is the first baseman, Brudeli, to make the catch. And that will retire the side. Hungary leave 2 men stranded, but they get 1 more. Scored 2-0 after 1.5.
And that was that curveball again. So good on Suter. He's figured out something he needs to do. Sometimes that's the adjustment you have to make. If you have something in your arsenal that's not working, you're going to have to find something else that is. Maybe that's going to be the breaking ball and the changeup for Suter. Let's see what happens next time he comes out.
We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of inning number 2. Leading up for Switzerland is Vincent Fragot. They'll start against András Lončner, still out there for Hungary. Fragot batting .250 in the tournament. And I'll take one way high. We'll make it a ball, no strikes. One oh, in there. No, it misses. Well, it sounded like he made the strike call, Hughes, but apparently did not. 2-0. Swung at and missed out in front of it. We'll make it 2-1. Two balls and a strike. The delivery from Lončner misses. Looks like some kind of changeup maybe or two-seam.
I think it was actually, David, a curveball that he just didn't get on top of quite right.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get out and top it in front of it and just hung it up there. Luckily for him, it was too high to swing at.
Grounder foul down the third baseline. Roll out to left field. And make it 3-2. So the count full with no one on and no one out. Here is the payoff pitch. Grounded to third. Throw to first in time by Hellinger to retire Fragot. And that brings up Himmelsbach. Himmelsbach, the left fielder. Still looking for his first hit of the tournament. He's hitless so far. There's the first pitch from András Lončner, and it misses. So ball and no strikes. There's his 1-0. That'll miss low. Make it 2 balls and no strikes. Noah Boren on deck and Tim Brudali in the hole. And Himmelsbach has himself a lead, 3-0. See if he's taking all the way here. No, he's not. He has the green light. So the at-bat will stay alive at 3-1. Here's the delivery. He'll take that one. And it's in for a strike, says home plate umpire Bob Hughes.
Well, you know, batter came out of the box there pretty quick, hoping to sell the walk, but that was a quality pitch. And I don't think you do yourself many favors with umpires when you do that.
Full count pitch from Lončner. Swung at and missed, but it gets away from the catcher Domsic, and he will reach. So Himmelsbach catches a break. He'll reach on the strikeout. And that brings up Noah Boren. Boren yet to get out in the tournament, batting 1,000. And I'll chase one high to make it 0-1. Just a little delay there. That'll make Lunchner step off. Here he's ready again. The 0-1 popped up. Under it is Furdush, and he'll make the catch to retire Buren.
Yeah, the home plate umpire there now actually telling the Hungarian pitcher to slow down a little bit too. Both of the guys are, both of the hurlers are working very, very quickly. So you know, my sympathies are with the umpire.
That brings up Brudali. I'll take the first pitch for a strike. Brudali, the first baseman, is hitless in the tournament. There goes the runner, throwing the dirt. And he's in safely at second with the stolen base. Puts a man in scoring position for Switzerland. And he'll punch one in there on Brudali to make it 1-2. Swung at and missed. And a high throw to first. They'll roll out to right field. They'll send the runner. No, they'll send him back. So the Swiss still alive in the inning.
2 breaks for the Swiss. Those were 2 really good curveballs in the dirt. And, you know, they should have been 2 strikeouts, and instead you've got 2 runners. You can't blame the catcher too badly. I mean, it's very dangerous, obviously, when you're doing that. And putting that ball in the dirt. The catcher has to be able to block that ball, especially when he calls for it like that.
Yeah, but I'll imagine Domcic picks up the throwing error. And that'll miss inside on Joaversten. That's in the 9 spot. The 0-1 from Lunchner, swung at, missed. He gets them to chase another low pitch.
Yeah, that was either the curveball or perhaps the slider, and it was just too much to handle.
Here's his 0-2. Well, not offer at that. Runner goes. Foul ball.
A lot of Swiss swings at that low pitch, and it's hard to see from up here whether what kind of break that has, whether or not he's just throwing a 65-70% two-seamer that's sort of sinking away from the righties, whether it's some sort of changeup or slider, but he's getting a lot of swings at balls that are, you know, at the shins when they're crossing the plate.
2-2 on Würsten. Runner goes. And he'll just miss with the breaking ball. Into second is Brudali with the stolen base, by the defensive indifference. 3-2 line to the glove of the shortstop Morua. He makes a nice diving play and saves a run, perhaps 2.
That really was an incredible play by the shortstop. He saw it all the way. He reacted very, very quickly, took a step and a half and was in the air, extended almost all the way and snagged that ball right out of the air, and that was almost certainly going to be 2 runs otherwise. Fantastic piece of defensive play, and Switzerland's going to have to step up some defensive game in order to stay in it.
On that note, we'll take a break and be right back with the start of the third. 2-0, Hungary. Welcome back to the start of inning number 3. Martin Murua will lead things off for Hungary by taking a very wild pitch. Must have slipped out of the hand of Soder. And he'll take another one.
Yeah, Suter muttering to himself now, swearing at himself. He just cannot figure out how to keep that ball down. And, it's not getting better, it's getting worse.
2 balls, no strikes on Murua. And another one, that one not as bad. Actually had some nice break at the end, but it couldn't catch the zone. 3-0. In for a strike.
Yeah, it's Suter coming back to the curveball when he does not have fastball command, but looks like Roger Savadelli is worried about what he's seeing because there's activity now in the Swiss bullpen.
3-1 on Murua, and he'll take ball 4. Catcher Buren can't find it. And eventually he will. Yeah, Murua in no rush to get the first. And that will put the leadoff man on for Hungary. And it brings up the power hitting first baseman David Ferdes. There goes the runner. He shows bunt, pulls it back. Throw to second, not in time. So in is Murua with the stolen base. Ball, no strikes on Ferdes. Soder taking a couple looks at second, and eventually he'll try to pick him off, but it does so unsuccessfully. His 1-0, runner goes. Throw to third, not in time. So another stolen base for Martin Murua.
There it is again. It's very often, or should be, very rare steal of third with nobody out. I think it was the same problem. I just think Suter didn't look him back at all, and he was already in motion well before Suter started his delivery to the plate. And that's what happens. You're going to lose that bag every time if you don't get that runner to stop moving before you deliver.
3 balls, no strikes on Ferdes. She'll foul one off. Ferdes 1 for 1 in the game, singled out to right field in his first at bat. 3-1 gets by Buren. Here's Murua in to score. And that will make it 3-0 Hungary. As Ferdes takes a walk on the play as well. That will bring up Eric Hellinger, the Hungarian left fielder.
Yeah, Roger Savadelli now signaling to the dugout, hurry up, get going, be ready. Or by the dugout, I meant the bullpen, of course.
Back pick to first, not in time. Ferdes in with time to spare. Low, blocked by Buren, the catcher.
Yes, Suter looked like he had some trouble on that pitch. Seemed to stumble a little bit or couldn't quite get his footing. I don't know if it's fatigue or what's happening, but it's clear he is just not in command of himself.
There's the 2-0 and a hit by pitch. It grazes Hellinger.
I think that's going to do it for Suter. Roger Savadelli coming out now. He's going to take the slow walk to try and give the bullpen just a couple more pitches, but I'd be surprised if Suter stayed in any longer. He's taking a knee now there, too. I don't know if he's upset with himself or he's hurt, and let's hope it's the former.
And he's...
Yeah. Looks like some kind of injury or something. He looks like he's in his shoulder. He's clearly looking like he's in some pain now. One of the things I did notice there toward the end is he was really amping that fastball up. I don't know if it was frustration or anger, but a couple of those he absolutely chucked past, and it definitely had a lot more zip on him, and I think that's what that was. I think he was overthrowing. I think the frustration was getting to him, and I hope he's okay, because it can really hurt yourself if you let the adrenaline take over and you do that kind of a thing on the mound. But it's hard to know unless you have that sort of experience. At this level, it's very, very tough. To keep that in balance, especially with all eyes on you. Certainly he's here for the home team. It's their last game of the tournament. Very, very tough situation.
Yes, it looks like it's number 36 coming in for Switzerland. We'll see who that is and announce it in just a moment. In the meantime, we'll take a short break and be right back with the continuation of this third inning. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're set to resume the top of inning number 3. Switzerland have made a pitching change. In to relieve his brother is Aaron Suter. He has pitched previously in the tournament. Hasn't had a lot of luck on the mound. His ERA stands at 9. Look to change that here, of course. Faces András Lunchner, the Hungarian pitcher. Lunchner took a walk in his first plate appearance. He'll lay down the bunt. And Suter will make the throw to first. And down goes András Lunchner.
Do have a quick update for you from the Swiss dugout. From Coach Robert Savadelli. Obviously something happened to Suter's shoulder. He's got it iced. There was some sort of injury, unfortunately, that he managed to tweak something toward one of those last few pitches. So the best wishes, we hope he makes a recovery and that it's not too serious. But
yes,
didn't look great when I talked to the coach.
No. And we hope it's nothing major. We'll be back soon. A blooper, shallow left field, will drop foul. The batter is Zalan Atwood. son of Coach Jeffrey Michael Atwood. And I'll foul another one off. He was actually up here in the booth just before the game. Spoke to him, a great guy.
From North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think he has some family probably watching the stream, so.
Yeah.
Best wishes to North Carolina and Hungary from the audio booth.
Grounded to second. Lutz will go to first with it and make the play. In to score is Verdush. So Atwood will pick up the RBI. And that makes it 4-0 Hungary. The batter will be Volkai Zoltan. Right fielder, a ground one foul.
I'm not sure whether the Hungarian batters are getting jammed by the second suitor or whether or not they're really early, but a lot of these right-handed batters are cocking it over their foul. He should pay attention to that and either keep pitching them inside or throw them some off speed.
Here's the 0-1, and it misses. That makes it 1-1. Domsic on deck. Here's the 1-1, fouled off. He's got a piece of it. That makes it 1-2. Out to go get the foul ball is Savoldelli. And also back to the dugout. Here's the 2-strike pitch. It's inside. It gets away. And in to score is the runner from third. That will make it 5-0 Hungary. And the hill to climb for Switzerland just growing and growing. Haven't had much going offensively and have it had a tough day defensively as well. Here's his 3-2. It will miss inside. And Zoltan takes ball 4. So that will extend the inning for Marek Domsic, the catcher. Still looking for his first hit of the tournament. He reached for the first time in his last plate appearance. He took a walk. Top of the order coming up next. Mark Hellinger would be next. There goes the runner. Throw can't handle it cleanly. The catcher, Buchen. And in safely is Volkai. 2-0. That's in there for a strike. Two balls and a strike. There goes the runner again. And a blooper out to right center field. It will be caught by the right fielder. Let's see, Wursten. No.
Well, that's going to be a very, very tough break for Switzerland. I mean, we could see it up here from the booth. That was an absolutely magnificent catch by the right fielder. He came in full power, made a diving catch. It clearly went straight into the webbing. Very easy for us to see from this angle, but very tough for the other umpires. Looks like, however, they will actually now have called it, uncalled it, and recalled it again as an out. One other thing that was happening in that play, got to watch for it this entire tournament, that runner at second was not just in motion, but was halfway to third base already, even before Suter delivered the pitch. Those guys are going to have to start looking back there and stopping those runners from making that move to third before they deliver, or they're going to lose third base almost every time. Yep, and you know what? They might undo it again. Here's a conference with the umpires again. I'm sympathetic to him. It's very hard to make that call. The field umpire was on the infield in the in the C position actually, because there was a runner on second there, and it's hard to make that call from the field. That should be the field umpire's call, but I don't know what kind of position he was in. That's just a disadvantage of the two-man system.
From up here, it looked like he made the catch.
Yeah, I think it was clearly a catch, and it was a magnificent play on top of it. But again, very, very tough to see that from where the field umpire was, and that's no dig on the umpire. It's just very tough with the positioning. He was where he was supposed to be. Very, very good catch, very hard play to call.
It's a long conference.
Yeah, well, somebody is going to be upset no matter what call gets made here. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder what they could be discussing. I mean, it's pretty much either he caught it or he didn't catch it. You know, you don't have replay, so you can't really stand there and think, oh, I think this happened. You know, you have to go off what your gut feeling was.
Sometimes these conferences are about the umpires going through the chronology of who made the call and when, and figuring out exactly how to undo it or to keep everybody as happy as can possibly be in a tough situation and explain themselves to the coaches. Because, again, no matter what call gets made here, because of the back and forth, someone's going to be upset.
And it looks like Savoldelli doesn't look too happy. He's shaking his head.
Well, and wisely, because it helps you a little bit with the umpires. The Swiss team vacated the field, and they're standing in the dugout waiting, acting as if it's the third out. And that's the only thing that you can do in a situation like this.
Yeah, Savoldelli out yelling. And they'll have to bring him out on the field. It looks like they're going to
undo it.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to undo it, and they're going to make the Swiss team come back out again. And it's the first time I've heard that much booing from the Swiss fans.
Yeah.
And so the inning will continue.
And a ball inside to Hellinger. And he shows bunt, but pulls it back. Runner goes, he's into second.
You know, something else that's unusual about how they undid that call, that runner is still standing on third. I would think if they had called that not the third out, they had called that no catch, that runner should probably have been awarded the plate because he was definitely on his way there.
One grounded to first, and it gets by him out to right field. It will roll a long way. Here's the second runner in to score. And into second with a double is Mark Hellinger.
And that is an unbelievably tough break. Now that just completely unwinds the inning entirely. You've got two more runs plated because of the call, the reversal, and the second reversal. That is just tough. Again, it's very hard to get on the officials about that. It's very tough to make that call.
Yeah, but I think in that case, if you're a bit unsure, you'd rather go with catch than no catch. Runner goes. Fly ball center field. And there to make the catch is the center fielder, Jakob Stefan. And that will end this inning once and for all.
That is a merciful end to a rather tough inning.
Hungary now on top 8-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. Welcome back to the bottom of the third. Nils Brudali will lead things off for Switzerland. I'll just correct myself. The score is 7-0 and not 8-0. We had some trouble scoring it up here just for a moment. Now it should be set. Grounder to second. Atwood is there, and he'll make the play to retire Brudali. That will bring up the center fielder Jakob Stefan. He is 0 for 1 so far in the ball game. And he'll foul the first one off. Takes it towards the Hungarian dugout. Make it 0-1.
Good changeup there, I think, and the Hungarian lefty is really showing us something. He's just been able to stay ahead of guys, and he's been able to deliver that outside corner when he needs it, and he's been able to get balls in the dirt. Swings on balls in the dirt, one required.
Yeah, about that time, Stefan had him figured out. Oh, throw to second. He's in there. Just got his hand in. Nice job by Atwood applying the tag, but Stefan simply too quick.
That play was so bang-bang, it looked like the field umpire was really ready to punch him out, and then saw it, just took another thought about it and called him safe. And I think that was the right call, but that was almost as bang-bang as I've seen in the tournament so far.
That'll bring up Eichenhead, and he singles out to right field. And Stefan around third, they'll hold him there. I don't know, I think we'll have to put the blame on that on Furdush. Looked like he might have had a beat on it, but he just stood there frozen. Yeah, he shakes his head on his way to the base.
Now, no sooner did I say something about the Hungarian pitcher, and he starts surrendering contact.
That will bring up Thiago Lutz. He'll take the ball. Lutz, the second baseman, is 0 for 1. Just mentioned that the double from Stefan was the first hit of the game for Switzerland. And their Eigenhead takes second base. Two balls, no strikes on Lutz here, and a balk!
Yeah, I was about to say, the Hungarian pitcher, we've seen it last night, and I warned us about it before the game here. The Hungarian pitcher has got to be careful. He can't just roll through that motion. The umpires this level in this tournament are looking at balks very, very carefully. And he just didn't quite pause. There was still a little bit of movement in the hands right before, so he never came completely set.
And now I'm not quite sure what Lutz is doing at first base. Unless they, for some weird reason, would intentionally walk him, they'll have to bring him back.
Yeah, that's a balk is a delayed dead ball call, but there'd be no reason for the batter to be at first that I can think of.
I don't know, maybe he's just trying to sneak one by the umpires. But it looks like they won't sneak it by the Hungarian coaching staff. Yeah, I don't know what he's arguing, if it's the balk or if it's him being at first base. Could be both.
I think what's going to end up happening here is because the balk is a delayed dead ball call, the fact the ball was put in play gives the offensive team essentially the option to take the balk or not. Taking the balk would leave the batter, would be no pitch, and leave the batter in the box, but advance the base runner. Not taking the balk, I guess it's going to end up being a single and put the base runner on third, which means you have first and third instead of just third. I think that's how this is going to end up playing out, and it looks like it. Even though the Hungarian team seems irritated, I think that's the right call.
That is something new to me. I did not know you could do that. But
yes, if you deliver the ball after a balk is called and the batter belts the ball over the fence, that's a home run. Unless the offense decides not to take it and wants to have the ball called.
Yeah.
So weird option play in baseball.
Grounder to second. Atwood can't pick it up. Here's a run in to score. Lutz into second. And Switzerland score their first run of the ball game. They'll make it 7-1. Or 7-2. That's right, off the balk earlier. I'm getting my rules messed up here.
Yeah, the scoreboard was delayed on that too. So it's one of these rare situations, at least for Switzerland in this tournament, where chaos seems to finally be helping instead of hurting. In the last games, these evening games in particular, whenever there's been chaos, it's been to Switzerland's detriment. At least now, it seems like the bats have woken up. You've got a lot of swinging on first pitches. They're being more aggressive, and they're belting balls through the infield, which is what you want to see if you're a Swiss fan.
I think that I don't think any of the fielders, at least, were aware of the balk rule earlier. I think all of them thought it was a dead ball, just like I did.
You don't see it very often, but it does happen.
Yeah.
You do, and the delayed dead ball makes for some very interesting kind of rewinds that the umpires have to do.
The batter will be Himmelsbach. He pops up a bunt, and it will end foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Himmelsbach. Here's the pitch. And it's swung at and missed. Down he goes. That's out number 2, and it will bring up Buren. 2 men on and 2 down. Catcher Buren 0 for 1. And he'll take one in for a strike. Doesn't like the call. So both teams now tied for hits. Lutz will take third. No throw from the catcher Domsic.
Really good breaking ball from the Hungarian pitcher on that delivery. Just absolutely dropped it in there. I don't think he had much of a chance even if he had swung.
But as I was saying, both teams now at 4 hits. There's a big difference in runs. Here's a chopper to short. They'll take it to second and get the out. Close play. They just managed to get the force out and retire the side. So we'll take a break. Switzerland put 2 on the board. 7-2 after 3. Welcome back. We're set to start the 4th. Martin Murua leads things off for Hungary. He'll do so against Aaron Suter on the mound.
Yeah, and Suter here needs to put up a 0. You know, a little bit of chaos helped Switzerland in the last half inning, and this is exactly as a pitcher. When you just have to get outs, you need a quick inning so that you can get your guys out of the sun, into the dugout, and get back to work.
Yeah, the difference so far in this game has been the Swiss pitching and their ability to control their pitches. They've issued a lot of walks. We'll see. That's 6 to be precise. And Hungary only issuing 1 free pass. That's why when you look at the scoreboard, you'll see that they're tied in hits, but Hungary up 5 runs. And there's another walk.
Tough call on that last pitch. It looked pretty good from up here, but, you know, we're out of the way, and the home plate umpire is right behind it, but tough call. I do think, looks to me like the zone is tighter, at least closer to regulation than it was in last night's game. Last night's game, we saw a lot of called strikes on the outside corner. And it was really tough for the Swiss batters to kind of adjust to it. I mean, if you know that that outside corner is wide or wide from your perspective, you got to start swinging the bat. It's kind of the opposite here today. Looks like some really good quality pitches are not getting calls. I think just off the edge, just above, just below, and there's not much of a high strike zone, which has been tough on Swiss pitchers because they all seem to be missing high today. Well, and there we go. We're going to have another pitching change here.
Yeah. The Hungarian pitcher, Lundstedt, has adapted very well to the zone. Only issued one free pass, as I mentioned.
He has.
Yeah. That's what the Swiss need to do as well. They need to start finding the zone of umpire Hughes. So, you know, it is different from umpire to umpire.
Absolutely.
You'll need to adapt.
You know, it's part. If you're old school like I am, it's part of the game. You know, as a pitcher, you really need to be able to adjust to different umpires and how they call, and also as a catcher, you need to be able to communicate with umpires. While we're watching the new Swiss hurler warm up here, it's kind of interesting. I've always had, whenever I get the chance to chat with umpires, see how it is that young players should talk to an umpire about calls that they do or don't like. You get different answers, but especially as you start surveying umpires from all over the place at all different levels, you find that even the body language can really irritate some umpires, and they're human too, and that will affect you.
Yeah, I try to be as nice as I can to umpires. I try to not let the emotions get the best of me. You know, I umpire sometimes as well, not at that high of a level, but I do under 12 games sometimes, and there, of course, you stretch the zone a little bit. Here they call it pretty much the exact dimensions. You give him an inch or two.
Yeah, I think for the most part at a level like this, you're looking at pretty much a regulation strike zone, or perhaps just a little bit generous. 'Cause it's not actually fun for anybody if you get pitching to just deliver walk after walk after walk, and it does move the game a lot.
Yeah, that's of course when at the younger levels you'll extend the zone by quite a bit sometimes, especially when you have long innings. You just want to get out of them. So it looks like we are ready to resume play. Jack Seamus has come in to pitch for Switzerland.
Well, the Seamers family, fairly famous in Swiss baseball. You've got Nick Seamers up at the National League A level. And there's Jack Seamers, hurling for the U-18 team.
And there's a stolen base. That'll put a man in scoring position for Hungary.
All right, now let's see here if the Swiss pitching has learned. Let's see if that runner gets stopped from moving before delivery on the mound. Yep.
Wow.
Much better.
That was a very nice move.
Good look on the part of the Swiss pitcher there, especially from, Seamers. He's a very young man, and to have the presence of mind to give that guy a look and stop him on that delivery, which he just did again. Nice bit of mechanics. Good to see it.
High fly ball, shallow left field. Ranging back to make the catch is Eigenher. And down goes Ferdusch. But as you said, he has a really nice move. Being able to take that long stare while in your windup.
That's not something you see all that often, is to be looking back the runner at second during your motion, either from righties or from lefties. So it's kind of an interesting tactic, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's not quite as extreme as some other pitchers, some more famous MLB pitchers. Louis Tiant, for example, had that move where he looked way back at second. It's not quite that extreme. There he goes. And tries to pick him off.
Well, now you see an interesting nuance from doing that on every pitch. What happens then is when you do that inside move, you're already looking back, and there's perhaps a little bit of extra deception to it, since it looks like every other pitch. Not a bad idea.
There goes the runner anyway. Eigenher can't pick it up at short, and he'll make no throw. So that will put runners at the corners with one down.
Both a good and a gutsy piece of base running there, especially with that look back, and already right before, on the pitch before, actually had that inside move, and that runner was well in motion as soon as the Swiss pitcher's foot came up off the mound. So lucky he didn't get caught in an inside move there, because he would have been a dead duck. Good job by the Hungarian team.
Yeah, and it'll step off.
Good variant of hold times there, because you know that runner at first is probably going here within a couple of pitches.
I'll try to pick him off. It doesn't work. The batter for Hungary, Erik Hellinger. I'll take one. Oh no, Hellinger at first, my apologies. The batter is Lunchner, the pitcher. He is still without an official at-bat in the game. Took a walk in his first time up. Another pickoff attempt, but diving in safe is Hellinger.
I have to say, I really like what I'm seeing from Siemers here. He knows that the running game is a problem. It's true, there's a 5-run differential here, but I like how he's managing these runners and still managing to stay focused.
There goes Hellinger.
And throwing strikes. I couldn't tell, actually. The umpire, plate umpire on that, emoted somehow. I'm not sure if he called it a strike or a ball, though. Did you catch that, David?
No, I was looking at second, so I missed that as well.
Well, it's 1-1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah. And a chopper foul. Make it 1-2 on András Lunchner. One ball, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third with one down. Here's the delivery from Siemers, and it's swung at and missed. Down goes Lunchner as Siemers collects his first KO of the ball game.
Yeah, really a great piece of work by a young pitcher. It's really nice to see. You've got activity in the Swiss bullpen. Let's hope they don't need it.
He's looked pretty good so far, Siemers. He's had some quality pitches. And he'll face Zalan Atwood. Atwood, the second baseman. He's 1 for 2. Here's the 1-0, fouled straight back.
This will be a good test here. What do we see on 1-1? If you're a pitching coach, what you want more than anything else is a strike to get this batter to 1-2. Let's see how it goes.
There is the pitch. It is grounded to third. And the throw to first on time by Fragot, the third baseman, to retire the side.
Outstanding job. And Siemers was barely sure that he was out of it. He wasn't even quite sure that they were done. I think he was ready to throw to another batter. And you know what? After a performance like that, I would have been happy to see it.
So we'll take a break here. Hungary still up. They're lead now 7-2.
Attention, Boston Red Sox fans. A special offer just for you, folks. This baseball. Full price years normally 4 francs 50. Special price for Boston Red Sox fans. 9 francs or 2 for 20. Just so. Red Sox apparel at the counter. Special pricing. Compliments of Swiss baseball.
Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth. Tim Brudali leads things up for the Swiss. He'll face András Lunchner. Still on the bump for Hungary, and he'll single out to left field. He takes the first pitch in between the third baseman and the shortstop. Looked like Morua at short might have had a play on it had he dove, but he chose to let it through instead. And a perfect start to the inning for the Swiss. That will bring up U-18, the number 9 hitter. He's 0 for 1.
Working on 8 o'clock p.m. here in Zurich, and if you've played here at Herrenschule, you know that out there in right field, in these night games, that sun is brutal.
Runner goes, throw to second in time. And down goes Brudali. He's caught stealing. That's one of the few times we've seen that in the tournament. That completely takes the air out of the Swiss dugout. And head coach Savoldelli not happy with the decision to go there. And that wouldn't be either. And a nice single down the line. That will get out to left field. And Versten will reach with one down, and that brings up the top of the order.
Action again now finally. We saw this last night too from the Swiss batters, but lots of ground balls. The Hungarian pitcher has been doing his job, and when he's delivering contact, it's ground balls. A couple of them been seeing eye singles now.
Pick-off attempt by
and just like last night, the Swiss want to have some chance here. They're going to have to start hitting the ball in the air.
It appears like we might have missed that there's been a pitching change. Lunchner has left the game.
Well, sure enough, there's a righty on the mound.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now in Felix Kovac.
Surprises all the time in baseball.
Yeah. We'll have to stop trusting our iPad here and actually start looking at the game. That's a nice liner out to left center. And actually way closer than they should be, getting the force out at second.
Oh, there it is. Great, good piece of hitting. Line drive right over the infield into center field, and the center fielder came in charging and actually hurled that ball directly to the bag, trying to get the runner out who was coming from first. So you don't see that all that often.
And now out comes Mark Domsic, the Hungarian catcher, to speak to Kovac.
I'm actually a little surprised they took the Hungarian hurler out. He was doing quite well. Starting to get a little bit of contact, but like I said, he was delivering ground balls.
Yeah, maybe they're emptying the tank here in their final game, giving some guys that haven't appeared previously some playing time.
That could well be it.
Because, as we said, even if it matters for pride and for bragging rights, it doesn't actually matter statistically. That's a pop-up. Morua will make the catch at short. That's out number 2. That will bring up the shortstop, Seya Eigenher. He is 1 for 1. And he'll take the ball low. It's also worth mentioning that the previous half inning was the first scoreless one on defense for the Swiss. Maybe they're cleaning up their pitching. There goes the runner, and they got him picked off. Throw to third is there in plenty of time.
That was a pretty unusual call again. You want to be very careful about running yourself out of an inning like that by stealing third. I don't even know that it was particularly necessary. I'm not sure, you know, if that was a call from the dugout, from the coaching staff, or whether he just ran. Looks like Roger Savinelli is pretty annoyed. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure that could have been a call from the dugout. That's a very unusual thing to be doing with 2 outs.
Yeah, he is very annoyed, as he should be.
And a very, very good inside pickoff move by the Hungarian pitcher, and that was it. He had him dead to rights.
So that concludes inning number 4. We'll take a break. Hungary still on top, 7-2. And a very warm welcome back to the start of inning number 5. Jack Seamer is still out there for the Swiss. He'll face Levente Valkai. He's coming to replace Volkai Zoltan in the number 8 spot.
That was a check swing and a call and an appeal, and they didn't get the call, but it looked pretty committed to me. It's always tough, and it's a judgment call by the umpire, but that's going to be rough. And then there,
yeah, looked very borderline to me, like he pretty much held up last second.
Yeah, that would be 0-2 now instead of 1-1.
And for a change, we actually have a pretty good view from up here on check swings. Sitting pretty much right to the side of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. That will miss. Now 3 balls on Vatkai. Hitter's count here is the delivery. It's in for a strike. Oh.
I don't blame the batter for being a little quick out of the box on that one, because the prior fastball up was a pretty good pitch too, and looked pretty similar from a height perspective. So he didn't get the call on that one. He got it on this one. So
yeah, I thought it looked just high. But umpire Hughes disagreed. Here's the 3-2, and yeah, it's I'll take the walk. I don't know what the problem was. Umpire Hughes had something to say.
I think actually that the Hungarian batter runner actually heard something from the dugout and thought maybe he had been called out.
Oh, yeah, it could be that too. There he goes. First pitch. Throw from Bowen, not in time. It will roll past Lutz. That'll be another stolen base for Hungary.
And here we are again with the runner on second. And are you going to see a steal attempt to third with Hungary up 5? Surprised to see one in the last inning with Switzerland down 5, but would not be all that surprised to see one with Hungary up 5.
No, I think it's very likely. And we'll see him go. Not on that pitch, so that's popped up. Under it is Eigenher, and he'll make the catch. Down goes Domsic, and that will bring up the top of the order. The batter will be Mark Hellinger. Hellinger 1 for 2. Struck out once, has 2 RBIs, has been walked once as well. Now they'll take a ball. One ball, no strikes. One down and a man on second. And try to pick him off. A submarine move, but he couldn't get him. Yeah, speaking of pickoffs, I don't know if you saw it, Shen, but in the Sweden versus Lithuania game, we had 2 straight successful pickoffs. At first base, Dominika Stankiewicz, the lefty, he has a very nice pickoff move. It's fooled a lot of people, and it fooled 2 straight. Sweden singled back-to-back, and both runners got picked off. So yeah, there are some pitchers with very nice moves in this tournament.
That's the thing, stealing from first on a lefty. Yeah, oftentimes, and it's tough to do at this level. Oftentimes, if you're not stealing, as soon as the lefty picks up that foot, you're leaning back to the bag. If you are stealing on the first move the lefty makes, you're off to second base. The rationale being, especially at this level, it's tough. Very, very tough to finish that play, even if you get picked off by a lefty that way. Pitcher has to throw it to the first baseman. First baseman has to step out of the baseline to avoid his throw to second, hitting the runner in the back of the helmet. And then you've got to make basically a perfect throw to second. So oftentimes that's the kind of tactics you're going to see. And if you're not doing that, it's pretty easy to get picked off leaning the wrong way on a lefty if you're not leaning in, if you're not stealing.
Yeah, and now it looks like Switzerland will make another pitching change. They're just bringing in whatever they've got left in the tank. Because Siemens, he wasn't doing that bad. You know, he was doing pretty decent out there on the mound. I wouldn't have taken him out that early, but, you know.
Well, you might be right that, you know, this might be, since it's really the last 3 innings here, or maybe even only 2 innings, you know, for Switzerland defensively. They might be trying to get their guys innings. This is it for the tournament for Switzerland. Either way we go. So I wouldn't blame it. I wouldn't be all that surprised if the pitching coach and Roger Savidelli had decided to get the arms some tournament experience.
So Hungary will have runners at the corners with 1 out. The batter will be Marko Morua. He's 0 for 3 so far in the game.
David, a good time to give a shout out to one of our viewers, Yannick Brodt. Yannick Brodt of the Brodt family, another Swiss baseball dynasty, so to speak. I've actually been privileged to coach both the Brodt brothers, and they're also members of the ex-president's American baseball players in Switzerland tournament team. So Yannick Brodt, thanks for watching.
Well, looks like we'll be ready in just a moment. Here we go, umpire Hughes brushing off home plate. And up comes Morua. That shortstop today. He's played there multiple times previously in the tournament for Hungary. Shows bunt, pulls it back, runner goes, throw to second is not in time. So another stolen base for Hungary. They just keep on stealing bags. And about Morua, he has played the middle infield alongside Zalan Atwood a couple of games here for Hungary. They're 2 of the youngest players on the team, only 14 years of age, born 2009. They're actually heading to the under-15 European Championship qualifiers next week in Bratislava, and that's a single out to center field. And in comes a run to score. Murua will pick up the RBI and make it 8-2 Hungary.
Great piece of hitting there. Just a really good inside-out swing and poked that ball right out of the infield and dropped it in for a blooper, and that's all you need to do.
That means Hungary now 4 runs away from a mercy rule. They'd have to pitch as well, of course.
You know, Dave, that brings up something that came up yesterday. You know, there are traditions in baseball where you see, you know, for instance, if a team is 8 runs ahead or is 10 runs ahead, you know, it's supposed to be considered polite or sportsmanlike to stop stealing. But sometimes in tournament ball, especially where run differential is part of the calculus, I'm not sure that applies. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. You know, in this game, I don't know if the run differential matters anyway. But, you know, I think, you know, you're playing to win the game and anything can happen. And not sealing because it's not considered polite is, you know, to me, a kind of a sign that you're taking the win for granted, you know, that thinking you got it in the bag already.
Well, not only that, but we've seen some 8-run innings here in these night
Of course,
games.
yeah, of course, that too. You know, it's not over till it's over. And I say, if there are free bases to take, then why not take them? That's a foul ball by Martin Murua. But as I was saying, if you know you figured out that the catcher pretty much can't throw you out, then I don't understand why you wouldn't take your base.
Yeah, and you made the point earlier. I mean, we don't see that many caught stealings at this level.
No.
In this tournament level, it's tough. You know, pitchers aren't that fast at the plate, and catchers don't quite have the arm to get it all the way out there to second to make it much of a margin. So it's kind of nice to see them now and again throw somebody out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
And that was a very good gun by the Hungarian catcher.
Yeah.
To catch the Swiss runner.
There are some really good catchers. We'll give them credit.
Yep. Absolutely.
But often at this level, the runner has a pretty big advantage. Look, we've seen a couple of caught stealings, not that many. Of course, there are a lot more successful than unsuccessful steal attempts. There's the delivery lined out to left center field. They'll get in the gap. Here's one run in to score. A second runner around third. He'll score easily as well. And jogging into second with a double is Murua. That will tack on 2 more, make it 10-2 Hungary.
I'm a little surprised the batter runner there didn't try for third. I mean, that ball was all the way in the gap and made it almost all the way to the warning track, and it would have been pretty tough to get him. But he was already slowing down when he passed first base. Having said that, it really was a nice piece of hitting. And, you know, that's going to make it very, very tough for Switzerland at this point to dig themselves out of a hole.
Yeah.
That hole seems to be getting deeper. Not only that, but Swiss pitching is giving up more and more contact. And here again, now we've got activity in the Swiss bullpen once more.
But we have a good sign. Noah Suter up and walking out to the pen at least. We'll see if he gets some throws in or if he's just there to watch. But he's up and walking around. That's at least a sign that it might be moving in the right direction.
Yeah, that throwing arm doesn't look like it's hanging all that comfortably, but I'm glad to see him up and out of the dugout and not having, you know, his shoulder wrapped up in anything. So let's hope that whatever it was that he tweaked on the mound is not serious and that he'll be back throwing before long.
We have a pinch hitter for Hungary. Akos Földesi will replace David Ferdes. He'll bat in the cleanup spot. Földesi batting .333 in the tournament. There goes the runner to third, and he's in safely.
Yeah, again, Swiss pitcher did not look him back. He was well in motion even before the Swiss pitcher started moving. By the time he delivered to the plate, that runner was more than halfway to the bag, and it's just going to be hard to throw guys out in circumstances like that.
Yeah, that was a really good job, at least I thought, by the catcher, getting the throw on point. Grounder to short. Though the first is there by Eigenherr for out number 2.
That was one of the mechanically better feelings I saw. It did take a kind of a crazy hop, but soft hands by the shortstop. Took his time, set his feet, good strong throw to first, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's been a problem as well for Switzerland in the tournament. They've made a handful of errors pretty much every game. Oh, I'm trying to pick off a third. They have 2 this game and then a couple of, mental errors as well. They don't count as official errors, of course, but we had some of them as well.
That pickoff attempt deserves a little bit of notice. I mean, it was very strange. The runner at third was facing completely away from the infield, talking to his coach over there at third base while he was well off the bag. So I'm sort of surprised to see that. That was not a particularly good piece of base running.
No, when you're up 10-2, maybe you'll, take your head out of the game a bit. I think that can happen sometimes, but of course you got to be locked in at all times. Fly ball, right center field. Under it to make the catch is Stefan for out number 3. That will retire the side, but Hungary put up 3 more, 10-2 after 4.5.
Swiss Baseball reminds you to drink responsibly, particularly because objects may leave the field of play at high velocity. Be aware, be safe.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the 5th. So Eigenherr will lead things off for Switzerland. A liner out to left field, and it'll get down for a single off the new Hungarian pitcher, Balázs Farkas. He comes in to replace Kovac, and now out is Savoldelli. It looks like we'll have a pinch runner. It's Jamie Savoldelli, the son of Roger, who comes in. The batter will be Thiago Lutz. Swiss second baseman. He's 1 for 2. Now just a delay here as we register the substitutions in the scorer's booth. Now we're ready to go. First pitch to Lutz, gets away from the catcher Domsic. That will advance Savoldelli to second. He'll take a big turn but head back. So initially a tough start for Farkas. Gives up a single and then a wild pitch. There's his 1-0. A breaking ball that catches the zone. That'll make it 1-1.
Good steel strike breaking ball there. Yeah, Swiss batter gave up on it and it dropped right in.
1-1 on Lutz. That'll miss. Savoldelli to third. Throw over the head of the third baseman, Hellinger. There to cover for him is Marua at short.
Great work by the shortstop there. You know, it's really important to realize when you're in the infield or you're in the outfield, there's something you can probably contribute to every play, and that shortstop certainly saved a run by being very, very aggressive about backing up that throw.
Yeah, we saw yesterday the Swiss game as well. A similar play. And a wild throw to first. Here comes the run around third. Savoldelli will score, and Lutz into second. And Hellinger will pick up the error at third. That will allow a run to score, makes it 10-3. But as I was saying, we had a similar play at third yesterday.
Well, that last play, the third baseman kind of had it together, took his time, looked the runner back, and it seemed like everything was going fine, but then just managed to take the first baseman off the bag, off the line. And
but as I was saying, we had a balk. And they will.
I'm not sure if it looked like there was a balk call from the field, and here we have the second time in one game the possibility that what happened there is there was the balk called, and since the balk is called, it's a delayed dead ball.
Yeah, they'll elect to take the hit by pitch,
and instead the batter got hit on the pitch, and by electing to take the hit by pitch, they're going to end up with runners at first and second. If they had taken the balk, it would just be a runner at third. So that's the second time we've seen the effect of the delayed dead ball rule when it comes to balks.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
I don't think I've ever seen it twice in a game
No,
before.
no, I don't think I've ever seen it. And now out is Savoldelli. Yeah, I guess he doesn't understand the rules either.
Well, if it's a hit by pitch, it's an immediate dead ball. So I think Savoldelli kind of wants to have that runner at third, but that's not how it works.
Yeah, I'll have to choose to take the balk then instead if he wants to move that runner up.
Correct. I didn't see the balk though, David. I'm going to guess because it's the most common at this level that there was just no pause and that the Hungarian hurler just ran right through the pause and delivered. And that was the nature of the balk call. That's usually what you see here.
Yeah, I don't ever really see the balks. I'm not really looking for that type of stuff. You know, I think the umpires are a lot better at seeing those small things. I'm not that, searching for anything as the umpires are. But sometimes I do manage to catch some balks. It's pretty rare, but it happens.
One of the dark arts of baseball, balk recognition.
Yeah. A lot other stuff to worry about up here.
That's certainly true.
Yeah, you're not really looking for those small movements the pitcher makes, and an ugly swing throw to third in time, and down goes Lutz.
Well, I suppose you could say that because of the strikeout, he was stealing third with one out. But in fact, when he took off, there were no outs, and that's just a very strange combination there. I'm not sure I would do that. Still don't understand that call, and it was not close.
No.
Actually, I had that wrong. It's only 2 strikes on a batter.
Yeah.
So no excuse whatsoever to be stealing third when you're 7 runs down like that. At least in my opinion. I'm not sure. Maybe they've got a strategy they have in mind there, but you need those outs. We said this last night too. Middle innings win baseball games. And they are running out of innings here, and in these 7-inning games, you have very little time to catch up. Outs get extremely precious in about the 5th. Especially with this much of a deficit. So running yourself, out of a no-out situation is not great.
Yeah, looking at Savoldelli and the dugout, it's looking like these caught stealing might be pushing him to the limit. He's looked very annoyed.
Well, it's possible the runner took off without the sign too. I'm really not sure how that goes, but.
If he did get the sign, he'll have to speak to his third base coach if he's upset with it.
Yeah, there might be some locker room talk. That's the other thing too. When you're stealing third with, I suppose there is a rationale for it.
Now he will go out to speak with his third base coach. Wow. Yeah. And out comes the Hungarian manager.
What I was saying is you might be in cases where there are a lot of wild pitches and a very deep backstop like you have here at Herrenschule, where it makes sense to have a guy on third with no outs, right? Because a wild pitch scores the run. So you can have circumstances at this level. But as you come up in the level of baseball, catchers are better at blocking the ball, and there's not as much advantage to having a guy on third with no outs. Because a sac fly is still in order with 1 out, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Maybe they have a tactic they're working on there. Maybe there's something non-conventional they're doing, or maybe the runners are just taking their own green lights and trying to take third when they feel they have a jump on the pitcher.
Yeah,
couldn't tell you.
Another aspect you have to think about here at Herrenschule is the backstop is just a mesh fence. There's no hard backstop, so the ball won't bounce as far in. And that's the same on pickoff attempts. If the ball is thrown away, there's a possibility that it will, because at the bases, you have this, it's pretty much 50-50 if it will hit the mesh fence or the cement fence. So that plays in as a runner. How if you're round, how hard you'll round, and if you'll go or stay. It's another aspect you have to worry about.
Yeah, David, I hadn't thought about that, but it's true. Here at Herrenschule, you're right. There's that sort of wide link cyclone fence, and the balls hit there, and they just sort of die at the end of the backstop. So it's true. It makes it much harder on the catcher or the pitcher covering home when the catcher has to book all the way to the end of that deep backstop and somehow get the ball back into the infield. So good point.
Yeah, and it looks like Hungary are going to make a pitching change.
The Hungarian infielders are playing a sort of hacky sack with their gloves over there in the infield. Not sure that's the nicest thing to be doing when you're up 7, but I'm glad they're having fun.
Yeah. It's like number 10 is coming into pitch. That is, according to our roster, Balint Matolci. Let's see if that's correct. Now, you can't always trust these papers, but we'll see if we can this time. And we have a little delay here, just registering the substitutions with the home plate umpire Hughes. That'll bring up the catcher Noah Bogen. I'll take a ball. Bogen is 0 for 2 in the game. They'll take one in for a strike.
And the Hungarian hurler showing some promise here in terms of dealing with the Swiss runners. Looking back that runner at second, even looking over at the runner at first.
There's the 1-1. It's popped up. It will roll foul. That will make it a ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes on the Swiss catcher. Here's the delivery. It misses. And that will make it 2-2.
Yeah, Hungarian bench didn't like that call very much. That was a pretty good looking pitch, actually. Again, it's hard to tell from up here, but they obviously were hoping that was going to be a strike. Pretty well framed by the catcher, too. I've been impressed with the catching here when it comes to framing.
Liner to second. He can't pick it up cleanly, but there'll be no problem. And they now have him in a rundown at third. I think there's some confusion on the bases. Tag at second. Misses. And he'll dive back in safely. Somehow, you can see the frustration from the Hungarian infielders, not happy with the call.
That was a tough situation to be in as a runner. The runner at second appropriately froze on a line drive. A Hungarian infielder came in, kind of did a almost catcher's scoop, but then could not command the ball. Dropped out, so it's a no catch, and that runner at second, who had been frozen about 4 feet off of the bag, now had to advance to third. Hungarian defense, quite rightly, just had somebody step on second, which killed the runner who was being forced from first, and then put the runner who had been on second in a rundown between second and third, but couldn't convert. Infielders thought actually that the tag had been applied to the runner, but the umpire thought differently and ruled him safe. So little chaos working again for Switzerland, keeping them out of a double play there.
Yeah, tough to see from up here if the tag was applied or not.
Yeah, pretty much impossible from our angle, but certainly from the reaction of the middle infielders, they thought they had it.
Yeah, we'll have to trust the judgment of Silverhjelm, the base umpire, and a hit by pitch on Brudeli, and that didn't look very nice.
Well, for some reason or another, he's not leaving the box, and I'm not sure if he caught a bit of bat on that or what, but that does not appear to be ruled as a hit by pitch. I think they're going to call that a foul ball. I think that must have hit the knob of the bat or part of the bat, but it definitely looked like it was right on him.
To me, it looked like it hit him in the elbow.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
But home plate umpire did not agree.
Well,
he's definitely got a better view than we do.
Yeah. That is true. 2 strikes on Brudeli, and down he goes. He swings and misses, and that will end the inning. The Swiss leave 2 men stranded, but they put 1 up on the board, 10-3 after 5. Okay, we're good. Welcome back to the start of the 6th. Not quite sure who's out there on the mound for the Swiss. Appears they've made a pitching change, but we'll announce that in just a moment.
Oh, we saw him last night, I think. I can't remember who it is. I think we saw him throw last night again.
Yeah.
Which,
We saw a lot of players throwing.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Swiss pitching had a rough night last night.
They had 6 pitchers up last night. And they're at, is it 4 or 5 now? Not quite sure, we'll see. But as mentioned earlier, they're emptying the tank now. One ball and 2 strikes. The Hungarian leadoff hitter. There's the delivery. It will miss. It's in the dirt. That looked like it bounced up and hit the home plate umpire Hughes. Flexing the muscles. He looks very fine. Two is popped up. Under it, the second baseman Lutz, and he'll make the catch. So 1 down with no one on. And a pop-up, it'll head foul out of play. Yeah, we're just waiting for the lineups to update here on our iPad before we can announce some names. There have been a couple of substitutions. We'll announce them shortly. Oh, 1. Just blowing outside. That'll make it a ball and a strike. One is inside for ball 2. That'll make it 2-1.
Not too bad work from the Swiss hurler. Those have been quality pitches, very close. You know, he came up, got a quick out to start, and let's see if he can't bring us another one here.
Yeah, I think we know who's on the mound now. Josef Stutz.
Oh, that's Stutz. That's right.
Yeah, appears to be on the bump. Number 16.
Well, I know his father's here in the audience today. Had a nice conversation with him earlier. So best wishes from the audio booth to the Stutz family.
Yeah. A couple personal shout-outs so far today. And a high fly ball left field. It's carrying, but it will drop on the warning track. And he's around second. Throw into third, not in time. And into third with a 1-out triple. Is we not quite sure who. But a very nice hit nonetheless.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting. Really drilled that ball and put it right into the gap, rolled all the way to the wall.
And now out comes Jorge Savoldelhi for another mound visit.
No, that's
and
gonna be
he'll take the ball from Stutz.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of this last night too. You know, single visit removals, and you know, there's just sort of no margin for error, I suppose. Or we're just trying to get arms experience here. It's very hard to tell.
Yeah.
I'm just watching Suter now. Our starter was hurt earlier, and that arm is really, that throwing arm really is hanging uncomfortably for me. So, you know, he hasn't got it wrapped up with anything, but you know, he just gave a high five to Stutz as he came off the mound, and he did it with his left hand, and his right arm, his throwing arm, is just hanging there. So let's really, really hope that he, whatever happened, that he has a speedy recovery.
Yeah, this will be the 5th pitcher of the ball game for Switzerland. take a short break here and be right back with the continuation of inning number 6. Welcome back. We are set to continue this 6th inning. New pitcher for Switzerland, Nils Brüderli. And he'll hit the first batter he faces. And that will put Balázs Farkas on.
Well, you know, David, the other thing that, we haven't been sort of thinking about until now is that a long tournament like this, there are mandatory pitch counts and mandatory rest periods required for pitchers at this level. And it may be that we're seeing so many pitching changes at this point simply because these guys are, coming off in their count. Oop. That was a pretty close pickoff. He caught the runner leaning the wrong way, just couldn't quite get it over there quick enough. If he had maybe thrown it a little more firmly, probably would have had that guy.
Yeah, but as you said, the pitch counts could be a factor that plays in here too. We don't have them in front of us, but it appears like the Swiss dugout does.
Yeah, and that's actually very serious. It's a very important part of the rules to preserve young arms.
Runner goes, throw to second, not in time. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he's in safely to make it 11-3 Hungary. And he'll get the stolen base at second as well.
Yeah, decision to throw through there, I'm not surprised. You're probably going for the out, not worried about the run coming in so much. I mean, it is a 7 and now an 8, an 8-run game. And actually, very good throw by the catcher. And I was sort of surprised to see the middle infielder not put a tag down. He actually had a little bit of chance on it, but I think they were looking back at home all the way at that point.
Yes, and that will bring up we're not quite sure what to call it. It's the not potential winning run, because they'd have to pitch again in the bottom half if he scores. But it would apply the mercy rule. They'd go up by 10.
Yeah, the batter at the plate now activates the mercy rule if he scores. So I'm not sure if there's a term for that in baseball. Maybe we'll have to invent it.
It's not the go-ahead run, not the winning run, not the potential winning run.
Prospective mercy run.
Yeah. Oh, and a liner out to center field. They'll hold the runner at third. And that will put runners at the corners with one down.
Well, with that mercy rule in play, it also makes me wonder why they're throwing down to second when they've got first and third like that. Because that run at third actually does matter a bit more than you would think, just because of a 7-run lead, because of the mercy rule. But
yeah,
well, that was the decision they made for one reason or another, and it's hard to read the minds of the coaches and the players. So.
And once again, we have some activity in the Swiss bullpen. And the guy getting loose. Pickoff attempt by Brüderli. It is in safely.
Actually, good attempt there, too, and pretty close, actually. Very good move by Brüderli. That's the second time I've seen one from him.
The batter is Mark Hellinger. Runner goes, throw to second. Wow, actually, I think they might have had him had they applied the tag.
Well, that's the second time we've seen that, and I think maybe that's exactly what they're doing. Instead of the traditional throw it to the shortstop and try and catch the runner at third napping, I think they're actually throwing it right to the bag and having the second baseman or the shortstop, depending on hand of the batter, come in front of the bag on the line between home plate and the second base, and then chuck it in. But last time they just didn't execute it well enough.
Chopper over the head of the first baseman and out into right field. Here's one run in to score. Here comes a second runner, and he's in to score. And there we go. And now the mercy rule is in effect. Score 13-3.
Meaning that Switzerland, when they come up to bat, they will have their at-bats, but they're going to have to pull the run differential down below 10.
Yes, and they've had some trouble at the plate. Only put up 3 runs on 8 hits, so they haven't knocked many of their runners in. They've left a lot of them stranded. Meanwhile, Hungary have done the exact opposite. They've been very hot, have only been shut out in 1 inning. That was the 4th. Other than that, they've scored every inning they've bat, and ball in the dirt. I'll hold the runner at first.
Good breaking ball there, but you know what? I'm watching brutally, and he is going to have to be careful that he doesn't get called also for a balk here, because he is pretty close to rolling through his paws without a full stop. You know, it's one more time. We saw it last night, too. The adrenaline's going. You got base runners. You're at risk of being mercied here. And you got to be careful.
Liner out to right center field. That will get in the gap. Runner around third. They will wave him around. Throw cut off. Throw to the plate offline, and he'll dive in safely. And that will extend the Hungarian lead to 14-3.
You know, really good play by the catcher there. They're very strict about the rule here for home plate collisions, and that means that the catcher has to provide a lane. And he was out in front of the plate, and that was a very, very good throw that came in to home. He was standing in front of the plate, received the ball, turned around and did exactly what he was supposed to do to apply the tag, and he was just a little late. But I have to say that was really, really good defensive play, even though it didn't result in an out for the Swiss team.
Yes, as you said, they are getting stricter with the collisions at home plate. I believe the rule is that the catcher has to provide a lane as long as he is not in possession of the ball.
In possession of the ball or in the act of fielding the ball, but frankly, oftentimes at this level, we're coaching and teaching players that they should just make a lane regardless, because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Swiss catcher there did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was in front of the plate, he was leaving a lane for the runner, and that runner was coming in, and he did not, even though he was in the act of receiving the ball and could have come and blocked the plate, did not do so, stood in front of the plate and tried to apply the swipe tag behind him. It's really a good bit of safe defensive work by the catcher. I was very impressed to see it.
1 ball and 1 strike on Martin Morua. He'll take one inside. Make it 2-1. Morua has 1 hit in 2 at-bats. There's 2-1 delivery. Ace in there. Yeah, I don't blame him for being upset at that.
Well, that ball ended up in the dirt, but I actually thought it was a really good pitch, and it's one of 3 curveballs I've seen brutally throw. That's really looked good, and I hope he throws it again.
Yeah, I think it's. I thought it was a very good pitch as well.
There it was, and he gets the ground ball, and that is going to be a putout. Nice work.
Oh, throw to third. Maybe they have him.
Oh, that was.
No, they don't. Close.
Very close play. A lot closer than it should have been. First baseman made a fantastic throw across the diamond. Oh, watch out for the hidden ball trick. No, guess not.
Yeah, no. He was facing the wrong way, but
yeah.
He stayed on the bag.
Well, I think that hidden ball trick gets overused a lot, especially as you come down, because everyone thinks in levels. Everyone thinks it's so cute, but.
Yeah. It doesn't work that often, but when it does, it's a very, very cool play.
Yeah, I think that's what makes young players use it way, way too often.
Yeah.
Oof. You know, good quality pitches here from Burley, but he's just not quite clipping the zone.
Two up from Brutally in the dirt. That'll make it 3-0. Three balls and no strike, and he'll deliver another one low. And that will put on Ferdesi via the free pass.
Yeah, here comes the couch. I think that's probably going to be it.
Yeah, it looks like Sabaldeli will make another pitching change.
We're having the one visit removals here. I think this is going to be one of those. No, maybe not. It's a lot of discussion for a removal.
We'll see what they do here.
Now, I'll tell you what a pitching coach or a manager wants to see here. They want to see that pitcher look them in the eye and say, I want to keep going. I got another guy in me. And that kind of confidence is pretty hard to do. But whatever it was, that discussion was in that discussion. Whatever passed between pitcher and manager there, Brutally managed to earn himself another chance. So here we go.
He'll face Erik Ellinger, or will he? Out comes the Hungarian manager to maybe make a substitution, bringing a pinch hitter. We'll see. He's talking to home plate umpire Hughes. The pinch hitter is number 16, Zeno Iles, at least according to our roster.
Activity still going on in the Swiss pen, so Roger Sabadell will be ready to yank Brutally. I think probably he has an incredibly short leash here. First and third. What do you think? We're going to see a steal here, David, on the first pitch?
I wouldn't be surprised. But Ferdesi doesn't look like he's that locked in. He's taking pretty loosely out there on first. Yeah, I don't think we'll see him going. He's not taking a very big lead. He looks very loose out there.
Yeah.
Taking it very easy. Ball high to Iles. He has a 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. And it's in for strike one. Iles making his first appearance of the tournament. Comes very late. But he'll get some game time after all, and there he'll swing and miss.
3-0 to 3-2. The chance here to end the inning. Brutally can get a swing through on this pitch.
Here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes, and he'll miss way high. And that will load the bases.
Yeah, that was the curveball that just slipped out of the hand. And just sailed it up. It was a good thing the catcher managed to track that down.
Out comes Roger Sabaldeli.
You know, David, this might be one of those cases where he actually won't come all the way out, because if he has a second mound visit, that means Brutally has to come out of the game and can't be put into a different position in a substitution.
That is very correct.
You noticed that actually, I think, last night in one of these cases. No, it looks like Brutally is coming out anyway.
Is that the left fielder perhaps coming in?
I think you might be right.
Yeah. We'll see. That out in left field is Himmersbach. We'll announce the official substitutions in just a moment. In the meantime, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Swiss Baseball is pleased to announce tonight's winner of the Mark Cole Honorary Sweepstakes. Tonight's winner is Mark Cole for the 19th time in a row. Mr. Mark Cole, congratulations.
Welcome back. We're set to resume the 6th inning. And, yeah, they'll...
Yeah, so that was a wild pitch all the way to the backstop and none of the runners going. That makes me think that Hungary is respecting that 10-run differential, no stealing. I've heard the sort of the unwritten rule described a couple of different ways. One is no stealing, period, no running at all. And the other is on wild pitches and things like that. You can advance station to station, but none of the runners moving on that.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, you know, it's never over, but when you look at the scoreboard now and you look at the game, it's looking very dark.
Well, though, it would be interesting if after not stealing with this kind of a run.
And a foul ball out to right field.
If after not stealing with this kind of a run differential, Switzerland came back and knocked the mercy rule out just by a couple of runs, that the steals might have made a difference for. Because that would have been a run, that wild pitch with the bases loaded.
Yeah, that is very possible that they will extend the game, but a comeback, yeah, that's looking far away.
Yeah, yes indeed. And during the break, we did see Brutally, who came off the mound. That's exactly what was happening with manager Roger Savadelli. He did not cross the white line, so he did not trigger a technical mound visit, which meant Brutally could stay in the game, and he went actually into the dugout to change his glove to take first base. Great work by
Himmersbach.
Himmersbach to get the strikeout and finally end this inning. That's another one of those painful innings. We are definitely sure the Swiss team is happy to be done with.
Yeah, we'll see who Hungary bring out there to finish this off and get the final three outs and activate the mercy rule.
That's right. Hungary can completely finish it here as long as they keep, 3 runs off the board.
Something like that, yes. Well, we'll take a short break and be right back with the bottom of the 6th. welcome back to the bottom of the 6th. Balint Matolci is out on the mound to close the door here for Hungary. They are 3 outs away from a victory if the Swiss fail to score 2 runs or more.
Yeah, that was my error
Yeah.
before the break. I actually thought it was 3, but looking up at the scoreboard, it's 14-3, not 14-2.
The batter will be Noah Nussbaum. I'll take a hack and miss.
And the whole Swiss team up in the dugout trying to get a rally on here to stay alive for one more inning.
Yeah, this is their final game of the tournament, so they might as well make the most of these final at-bats. No balls and 2 strikes on Nussbaum. Here's the delivery. It'll miss.
Good slider, but way, way off the plate. If he manages to get control of that pitch, though, Swiss batters are going to have a tough time.
Here's the 1-2. And it's swung at and missed. Nussbaum chases a nice pitch.
Now that was it. That was the slider again, and I probably shouldn't have said anything because as soon as I did, he put that pitch exactly where he needed it. That was low and out of the zone, but looked too tempting on a 1-2 count for the Swiss batter to hold up.
So the Hungarians now 2 outs away. And the batter will be Nils Bröderli. He'll hit one out to shallow right center field, and it will drop. In between a triangle of fielders.
And that puts the keep alive run at the plate.
Keep alive run, yeah.
Well, you
We're
know,
making up new names as we go.
You know, there's no mercy rule in Major League Baseball, so you got to come up with something for this tournament. And the keep alive run sounds like just a good term as any other.
Yeah, I like it. And a passed ball that will advance Bröderli to a second.
I think a good outside fastball on the right-handed batter, and the catcher just tipped it off the glove but couldn't handle it.
The batter for Switzerland, Jakob Stefan. He has 1 hit in 3 at-bats. He'll ground one foul down the third base line.
Now 1 out. What do you think, David? Are you stealing third in this situation?
No, I would not be stealing third.
I don't think I would be either.
No balls and 2 strikes on Stefan. There is the delivery, and it'll miss on. So that will make it 1-2. And a swing and a miss.
That was it. That was a slider again. That is a fantastic and a very tough pitch. Hungarian pitcher is throwing hard, and that slider matches and just tunnels very, very well with his fastball. Throws the fastball outside for the called strike and throws the slider to get the swing through, and that is going to be very, very tough to deal with if he keeps it up.
So the Swiss now down to their final out. The batter will be Jamie Savoldelli. And that's a passed ball. I'll advance Bröderli to third. Kagulots would be next. Lutz bats in the cleanup spot. Savoldelli batting third. 1-0 gets by the catcher, and here comes Brüderli in to score. So now they're only down by 10, need 1 to keep the game alive. Two balls and no strikes on Savaldedi.
Well, you know, it has been a pretty disappointing tournament for Switzerland, but I think it's nice of them to have something here to root for. The keep alive run. A little bit of drama, carry it on, one more inning. And again, as Swiss players all up in the dugout, hoping for just one more chance at one more inning before they close the tourney out.
Yeah, it's been pretty disappointing, as you said, for Switzerland. You know, here at home, it looks like they're going to go 0-4. Which is tough. Of course, you'd like to win a game in front of your home fans. But I think at least the players have looked like they've had some fun.
Down to the last strike now, 2-2 with 2 outs, all 2s.
There's the 2-2 from Matolci. And he'll spike it in the dirt.
You know, that was a really good idea. That was I'm pretty sure that was a changeup, and if he had executed on that, I think it would have been very, very tough to hit. Also, that makes it very tough on the batter there. Now that you've seen that changeup and know he has it, got to stay out of your head. I think you got to sit off speed here a little bit and try to adjust.
3-2, and down he goes. He takes a hack and misses. And that is ball game. Hungary close out the tournament in style. They mercy rule Switzerland 14-4. That means that they'll finish the tournament at 2-2 and Switzerland at 0-4. None of these two teams will be playing in the final tomorrow. That's between Sweden and Lithuania. That game starts at 13:30. We hope we'll see you there. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and everyone up here working on the live stream and scoring. Congratulations to Hungary. And from Zürich, we wish you a good night. Thank you, and goodbye.
David, thanks very much for having me. This is the last night game. The last night game for me. I've really enjoyed it. I want to make sure that I thank the entire crew, all the marks, on the entire staff up here for the evening crew. It's really been very pleasurable.
Yeah.
Obviously, we would like to see the home team have a better showing, but I've really enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed working with you. So not positive I'm going to make it for the championship game yet. That depends. If I don't, once again, thanks very much. I've really enjoyed working with you.
It's been great having you here. It's always more fun to be two. But I hope you can make it here tomorrow, and if not, thank you so much for being here.
It's been my pleasure, and thanks again also to all the viewers we've had. Had some great call-ins. Had a nice conversation with some of the fans in the stands today that have been listening to the broadcast, and we're just happy to have everyone. So once again, thanks from me and from everybody else in the audio booth in Zurich, Switzerland.
Yeah, congratulations Hungary, congratulations Mark Cole on winning the 19th straight Mark Cole sweepstakes. From Zurich, thank you and good night.
Thank you.